Doing a DIY camper van is really great and it saves a lot of money, but it does add a lot of extra weight to your van. That's why today we're going to be upgrading our suspension to Sumo Springs to try and manage that weight a little bit better. So what we have to do is jack up the back of the van, take off the old springs, and add these ones. It's better to drive and give the van a bit more lift off the ground, as we are currently scraping the road when we do drive over some steep angles, I suppose. That's what we're going to be replacing up there. That spring, just a rough measurement off the ground of what we currently have on the right-hand side of the van, which has a water tank right behind here, which is about 100 litres, so it does have a lot of weight on this side. So currently, off the ground, we have about 750 mil, or 75 centimetres. For you Americans who use the imperial system, I'll leave something on the screen to try and help that out. Okay, so yesterday putting on the Sumo Springs, we came across a bit of a problem. I'll just jack up the car now and show you what the problem is. This is what we've got going on. This is our problem. So this is the bump stop just here. That sort of sits in there, but this plate should be attached to the bolt, which is in there, but it's snapped off. So now that spins freely, and we've got to try and get that bolt out. But really behind that bolt, where it goes into the nut, is just full of crap and rust and dirt. So it's really hard to get out. So we've bought a few things, vice grips, to try and grip onto the bolt and take it out. So hopefully we can get it done. Okay, so we can't get the bolt out. I need to get a cold chisel and hammer off the head of the bolt and then drill through to get the rest of the bolt out, because it's just not coming. Okay, so it's been about 2 months since we've started the suspension upgrade. And we had a bit of a mishap where the cup broke off the bolt, so we have to try and fix that. Unfortunately, we had some things we had to do and go away, but now we're back and we have a shed we can work in and we can fix our problem. Okay, so this is what we're changing out, and as you can see, it's completely moving around, which is not good. So if we just take off this here, like so, you can see that in there is a bolt and that should be connected to this, but it's not. So what I'm going to do is tack a weld on there, and then hopefully that joins it back together and we can unscrew it again. So let's do it. Okay, so now we welded it back on. We started getting it off, but the nut behind it was tacked onto the metal. That has actually slipped off now, broken the tack, so it's really hard to get off. The nut's spinning behind the plate, so try to jam something in there to jam that nut in so I can undo the plate. So this is what we had. It's a bolt there. Went onto that, but it seized up, or the tack came out. So I just cut it there and we're good now. But we need a 10mm bolt, so hopefully we got one. So putting the new one on. I've chosen not to put the spacer in because it just doesn't seem to be really needed for what I want. So we just got to put this on and hopefully it's all good. There she is. It's relatively okay because I had to take the nut out at the bottom. I had to put a jet setup in the spring. Doesn't really do 100%, so it's tight, feels good, so let's hope it works well. Put the wheel back on and then we're away. So we're taking a wheel, this one here, just like that. Let's go.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head.
So basically the same thing has happened. The tack's come off that bolt at the bottom, so I'm just going to put the tape store under it, just cut the bolt out completely.
Swing those hips around. Can't stop, roll back down, my ladies.
Okay, so these are the front suspension springs. Basically, these just sit in the coils. It says on the 3rd to 2nd coil or something, this wraps around and sits inside the grooves. We're just going to use some soapy water and try and get it in there. Around the coils in there. So we'll just do one run at a time and we'll wind our way up the coil, which is this one, should be on the bottom of the thing, of the coil. So it should sit like that. The shallow one at the top, deep one at the bottom. Well, that actually went on a lot easier than I thought it would. It said it was going to be very tight, and then it slid straight in and very easy. Let's see if I can show you what we've done. Slide around, and it should be in the center coil. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. So, assume something like that should be right. So let's lower the van and get it seated in position. So at the back spring, the rear spring, we're now sitting about 77 centimeters or 770 millimeters. Okay, so we're back in the van. We're just going to take it for a quick spin and see how it handles. Hopefully it goes all well and it feels a bit better. We'll see. So I think overall it's a bit better. Before we had so much weight in the back that when you would hit a bump, it would really bounce around and not sort of take the weight very well. And you could see that on our springs wearing down at the back. But now that we've upgraded to the Sumo Springs, they seem to be going a lot better. It doesn't bounce around so much, and even at the front, it seems to be a bit smoother. So yeah, it didn't lift up as much as we were hoping for, but I think it's a lot smoother to drive. It's a bit handling the weight a lot better, so that's good.